All right, I was about to do our station sign on again.
Ooh.
So how are y'all recuperating after last night's episode?
JP,
Matt, you hated it. JP, how are you recuperating?
It was a double-edged sword, man. I liked half of it a little bit more than the other half.
I'm the same way. I think I may be dead on the inside because it didn't really affect me. It's the same thing with Abraham and Glenn. They gave us a whole couple of months to like mull it over.
Yeah,
so
you've
now
processed.
I don't. Yeah, so now it's like whatever. If they would have done it, whatever.
But man, what was going on at the Kingdom, man? That was some gripping stuff.
Now that I enjoyed.
So you did not enjoy the Carl thing at all?
I mean, yes, I enjoyed watching him his life slip through his fingertips. No, I mean, I don't know. It was a little sentimental, a little sappy for me. But like I said, I guess I knew going in that it was going to be an emotional, ordeal.
See, but that's the thing. I was rolling my eyes more than any. I don't know. That's why I don't know. It just didn't affect me. Maybe I just didn't care enough about Carl. I don't know. But the whole Judah thing. I was just like, okay. Rick,
that was a terrible
I
cry that
Carl.
they made her have. Like,
oh my god, that sounded so fake.
Yeah, that
dude.
was.
I imagine
bad.
somebody like Chandler Riggs like pinched her. Like the director was like, all right when you say this, like pinch her right on the leg, make a little.
I mean, the cry almost sounded too young for her. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like they took like a season 5 soundbite, and we're like, let's use this with the now, I guess, 2-year old.
Oh, I thought she was like 4 months old still. Right?
No. All right, but so I get what they said, though, about changing the tone of the show. I mean, like, it just makes sense. I just don't know how they're going to do it, because in the comics, I mean, we can't trust the comics 100% for the show, obviously, because they just killed off Carl. But we still kind of have an idea of where they're going, so I don't know how they're going to do a lot of that. But I don't think Negan's ever going to be in a garden picking strawberries and happy, you know what I mean? Like, that's just, it's like, I wanted to the whole time. Like, I was enjoying it, I guess. I'm the only one in here that enjoyed it. But I will say, I was rolling my eyes when Carl's like, telling him, you need to, what did he say? He's like, where basically it was telling Rick to be like his old self and more. I'm thinking, but look where it got you. Look where Rick is, and look where your need to save everyone and everyone to live in harmony got you. So while you might be telling Rick to change his ways have kept him, you, and a lot of people alive, whereas as soon as you have an epiphany and go into this little hippy-dippy, we need to save everyone type mode, you're the first one to die.
Yeah, if Rick had have clipped Sadiq the first time he saw him, Carl would be fine.
I mean, because they can make excuses all they want, but I mean, at the end of the day, Rick's way of living might be more savage, but it's keeping him and more people alive than Carl's way. I mean, hell, like I said, Carl tried to save the first person and got bit.
Yeah.
So I mean, when they said that, I'm kind of like, that's stupid. I mean, you're not ever. I get that that's his vision. Which, by the way, I thought it was cool that was Carl's vision. I thought that was a cool twist, because only thing I get what they're doing with the comics, but the only thing is like the limp, because if you read the comics, the limp has some significance there, and I don't, but
the whole Carl thing, I really like the beginning, show that little music montage right after he gets bit. I thought that really had me in the gut there. And I like the end, revealing that it was his vision or whatever. But he was trying to make it out like he had some big, meaningful death, but it was completely senseless.
Yeah.
It was completely, it pissed me off more than anything. This should be a big, pivotal moment, but it's just,
I see what they're saying about changing the tone, but I do think I maintain that I think that Carl's death was pointless. Like, they could have done this whole momentum shift with someone else. I mean, you could have had Morgan, which I don't want Morgan to die, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, you could have taken anybody else and done this whole, we need to try to save people. Maggie could have done it, or anybody, but they killed Carl just basically as guy. I hate to say it, I really feel like it was more shock value than it was story.
But I mean, if you're gonna kill Carl, make it a death worthy of the character. I mean, he's been killing walkers since he was like knee high to a grasshopper, right?
Yep.
And I mean, he just
goes out and gets bit by 2.
Yeah, that
two
are
or
totally
3.
decomposed, not even like fresh, strong, beautiful walkers.
Season 4, Carl, Rick was in a coma. Granted, he almost got bit, but he took like 3 or 4 walkers.
Yeah. That's my qualm, man. That's what pissed me off.
Yeah, I don't like the way they did it. Yeah. No, I don't like the way they did it. I really wish it had been one of those things where he went out like fighting the Saviors or something, and maybe his death would have changed Negan up a little bit, or you know what I'm saying? Like that would have been some significance. Or even when he offered to sacrifice himself to save everyone, if Negan would have just popped him, then it would have just been, you know what I'm saying? Like it would have had more. I don't know. I just feel like I said, I do think the way they did it was stupid. I mean, you have this badass little kid, and then he just gets taken out by two walkers.
I mean, I'm not even against like just a random thing happening. I just, like I said, it could have been a little bit. I don't know.
I feel you. I mean, because someone can argue and go, well, that's just the way it was. That's realism. And that's right. I get it. But at the same time, I mean, this is a show. We kind of want some justice for our favorite characters.
I didn't see it being true to the character. He's way too badass. Just, I mean, I don't know.
Well, he went through hell, too, just to die by two little anorexic walkers. No offense to anorexic people. I'm just saying these walkers definitely should contact someone. They're not keeping.
Well, no, if you're anorexic, you should contact someone
down,
too. If you're anorexic, get some help. It's okay. You're beautiful.
What were you going to say, Matt?
No, I'm just. I don't know, man. I nothing I've said before. Like we asked for this. We asked them to be more unpredictable. We asked the show as fans, like not just us, but fans in general. They've asked the show to take out people unexpectedly. They do it, but it's still not doing it the way that we like. They're not getting it across right. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is that they're not doing right, but they're just not doing it right. I mean, I know they dragged out the whole Carl thing too long.
Right.
But it's just, I don't know, man. Lately, I feel like they just haven't been doing anything right. And it's just, last night really upset
Since we started podcasting, you felt like they weren't doing anything.
Well, maybe not since. It's definitely went downhill since I've started. Like, it literally, a TV show should not feel like a chore.
Right.
And it's just that there's this disconnect now. Sorry, I just, like you said, like I don't know, man. I didn't hate the episode. I'm just disappointed in the episode. I'm like the episode's father. You know?
Right.
I don't hate it. I'm just disappointed.
Right. Man, I love the Kingdom story.
I love the Carolyn Morgan. That's the thing. I like the Carolyn Morgan part. Really did. But again, we spent how long Morgan being like, y'all, we should not kill. We should be good to each other and love each other. And now it's like, look at me. I'm going to stab every single person in the face no matter what. Right. I mean, it's just, they're just switching storylines between people.
Right.
And then we got the garbage people coming back like next week or the week after.
I think someone's going to annihilate all of them.
Gavin's dead. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, I didn't like Gavin.
I was enjoying how much of a smarmy ass he was in this episode. And I
just made his death that much easier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really liked when Morgan ripped that guy's guts out. I was waiting to hear like fatality afterwards.
But I don't know, it's weird on a show like they used to do that a lot. They used to do the whole very graphic kind of thing, and it's very, I don't know, maybe I'm desensitized to it now, but when I saw that I was just like, oh, it's a dude's guts coming out. Okay.
Man. I don't know what they could do to make you happy.
I don't know, man.
I thought the gut thing was cool as hell. Like that's something you've seen zombie guts or like Negan / Spencer, but I don't think I've ever seen a living person on the show put their hand inside of another living person. I thought he was going to pull his heart out for a second.
Yeah.
Well, I see it at least 3 times a week in real life, so that's probably why.
But so now I guess the theorists that think that Carl was going to survive, unless you watch though, because there was that gap where they left him in there and they stood outside and waited for the shot. There are going to be people that are going to be like, well, what they did was when the camera was cut away, they were talking to Carl and he was explaining how he was faking it. And he was going to shoot the gun to fool any saviors that may still be in the area.
And they do this shit on... The Walking Dead does this shit on purpose. They do that. Like, there was no sense in having this weird jump where Rick's there with a broken leg and a wound to his right. Like, there's... Why? Why jump to that at the end of the episode? Why not give us a little bit of closure at the end of an episode? Please. Right. Just once.
Well, see, I understood the point of that clip. Like, when it was just showing you that Carl's vision was that everyone, no matter how bad they were, including Negan.
No, I mean when Rick wakes up, like, at the bottom of the tree with the stained glass hanging around.
Oh, yeah, I forgot all about that.
See, I don't understand why. And then there's so many times I wish they would just figure out what they want to do instead of 1 week doing one thing, 1 week doing. It's getting very frustrating.
Well, now that the new showrunner is the lady that wrote my least favorite episode of all time, I'm not as hopeful.
So is she?
It's gonna be really funny if it switches off and you're like, I hate these episodes. I'm like, the show's getting a lot better.
Is she taking over with season 9, or is she like 9, in charge now? Okay,
so 9.
Are you saying German for no, or are you saying
everything's in the bag at this point?
Yeah, maybe.
But no, I mean, I could be wrong on that. I'm not sure, but I thought they probably pretty much had filmed had already filmed everything when they had made the announcement. But I don't know. She wrote and there are people that defend it, but most people say that Beth Darrell episode is just like the
there's no
worst on the
defending
show. Other than which you loved it, but Matt and I both just couldn't.
The seaside,
the seaside, the
Oh,
ocean
yeah, I
side.
did.
Matt
That was
and
such
I
a great
just were
adventure.
like, I don't care about Tara enough to spend an entire episode with her. So
Did you see that weird commercial with
For the
Tara and
app,
Jesus?
yeah.
I didn't know he would. Yeah, we talked about how he's British, but it always confuses me when like all these folks you hear these Southern accents and all of a sudden just pop into a British accent. You're like, oh, that's right, you're actually British.
did you either of you watch The Talking Dead?
I didn't get to catch it. No.
I stayed up and watched it, which I'm regretting it now from the lack of sleep. But
Yeah.
it was really cool. They had some cool tributes to Carl, and though I noticed that maybe it was just me, but it just seemed like Chandler Riggs seems like a really nice kid, and he was really nice on the show. But it's just something in his eyes. I felt he
Did
was
you see?
salty.
He looked like he was just up. Like maybe he was just emotions were running high, but he did look like he had been crying, or at least. He just looked like he wasn't there completely.
Yeah, it looked like
mentally.
he was still kind of maybe pissed about being fired. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I'm not it. You know, I mean,
Like
he didn't show it very well, but it's just something about certain parts where you catch maybe just a moment where his eyes kind of look like they got a little like, because it's like my girlfriend said, he probably was like, I shouldn't be on this couch right now. I shouldn't be freaking dead. This is a terrible
like
story.
literally
right
for like 5 seconds when they were like coming up, we got Talking Dead coming up, and they showed him sitting there, and it's just like he does not look like he really wants to be there, but he's a nice guy, so he's gonna be there.
And he and Greg Nicotero had a little interaction, but it just to me it seemed, which Greg Nicotero isn't responsible for him being gone. To my knowledge, that's Scott Gimple.
Well, I've also I've heard multiple stories. I heard that he kind of wanted to be let out of his contract so he could go to college. I heard his dad is an asshole. I have heard
his dad's an asshole.
Like I've heard so many conflicting stories. I don't know why they don't just somebody doesn't come out and
squash
say,
the beef.
Yeah, say like, look, here's the deal. We wanted to go in a different direction, or he was like, no, guys, I don't know, because he seems like a genuine guy on social media. Chandler Riggs,
yeah,
so
he seems like a super nice
If
kid.
it was something like, hey, I want to, this is by my choosing, he would come out and say it, but he hasn't really been like, guys, this is what I want to do, this is what I want. He hasn't really said that. So I think they're just thinking, yeah, we're going to shock him. We're going to kill you off. Sorry, man. But, hey, this will give you a chance to go to college like you've been talking about. And he's like, I just was talking about it. I don't really want to go to college. I want to keep making money on a TV show.
I don't care about it that much. But, yeah, he had just bought a house in Georgia from what I had been told. Yeah. So, but what was it? They showed an interview from 2012 with Chandler Riggs back on the prison set. And he addressed a really cool Chandler, he was asked something about, I don't know, like, does he blame himself for Dale's death or something? He was like, no, because what was Dale doing in the middle of the night, walking through a random cow pasture? You know, kind of with the randomness of the show. They were debating this kid dying one minute, and the next minute just way away from everybody. Dale is just in the middle of the night, knowing the dangers that are out there, just walking through a cow.
A little farm love, baby. You know. I mean, Dale's
I'm
got
sure.
needs.
Is that what farmersonly.com is for?
I believe so.
All right.
Get Dale face on the front.
Yes.
But yeah, it was cool to hear him flash back to that kid that he killed in the season 3 finale when he, just gunned him down. Which that was season 3 finale, right? Because I remember thinking the season 3 finale where they was a little underwhelming. I liked the episode, but where they fought the governor and basically just the governor left and killed his own people. That was pretty sure that was the finale, and then it was the season 4 mid-season finale where they shot poor Herschel's head off.
See, that kid would still be alive. The Carl that gunned that guy down.
Oh yeah.
Well,
What
what do you guys think is the significance of that kid? Instead of Morgan killing Gavin,
Benjamin's
that
little
kid,
brother.
Yeah. What do you think the significance of that is? It like, are they trying to do a whole Morgan not becoming completely irredeemable at the because why would it matter? Is it more about the kid? Just now he's lost his innocence completely.
I feel like maybe Morgan's gonna see that this kid's going down that because right now Morgan can't see himself. He's just doing these things and following through. But maybe now that he'll see what's happening with this kid and how cold this kid's coming, maybe that'll bring him back from the brink and kind of give him some equilibrium. To which this will be like the second or third time Morgan's been brought back from the brink.
I'm just saying, it gets to the point where it gets very tiring because it's a cycle for the character. Instead of character growth, it's a
Well, they should have already had him at his happy medium. Like, we've seen him go rage crazy. We've seen him not want to kill anybody. Now it's like, why does he have to be one extreme? Why couldn't he have found some balance in it? Like, if I can, I will save a life. But with that being said, if you get in my way, I will rage kill the shit out of you.
Do we know if Lenny James is leaving The Walking Dead while he's going to be on Fear the Walking Dead?
I think I had read that he was. Like they were going to do some kind of time jump on Fear, but I don't know. I don't read as much about Fear, but I will try to be watching it now just to see him on there.
This episode, if nothing else, got me excited for Fear the Walking Dead. I love what's going on with Morgan. It's just, if you kind of equate it to addiction, a big part of recovery is relapse. So I think him relapsing into murderous rages wouldn't, be so far beyond the pale.
And then it's always, stay here. No, I'm going with you. No, stay here. No, okay, I'll stay here. And then 5 seconds later, I actually came with you. You just didn't know.
That's a woman for you.
How did these
anytime, bro, anytime.
How did that kid, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he followed him, you know what I mean? Like, got through the combat.
Oh, they come around the corner. And that was so funny how Morgan went into a stance like, I'm going to block this shit like Lucille did.
Yeah.
But it's like, Morgan, your stick is very much smaller than Lucille. But he took that stance like, I'm going to block that bullet.
Yeah. And then luckily Carol comes out. I'm trying to think. I thought Michonne and Carl's interaction was very touching. I thought everyone. Well, everyone involved. So I guess Carl, Rick, and Michonne. I thought the acting was on point, man. Michonne's cry is very soul crushing.
Somebody on Reddit put, "No, Michonne, take him back to Wakanda and heal him." I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought it was good though, man. I thought it was very touching when Rick, when he was telling him his final goodbyes. I just felt like my only true complaint, I guess, is I feel like the Carl thing was, I don't know, drug out. Like that. Just feel like a lot of the things that kept. I know they wanted to explain themselves, but I feel like I don't know. I don't know how to explain how I feel.
Right?
Maybe in a week I could go back and be more.
That's exactly like you don't know because this is a show that you have poured your heart and soul into. Like we watch it like regularly. You go back and watch seasons that you've seen before because you want to catch up on it. But it's like that. It's like being in a relationship with someone who used to be really awesome, but now they're not there a lot of the times. Like they're there, but they're not really there for you. You know what I'm
the whole time they're with you, they're on their phone.
How's the sex? Is the sex still good?
I mean, it's just they don't look at you in the eyes during. Sometimes
when you ever have
names.
sex.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, that's true.
If you ever have sex,
if you can call it that. A lot of pretty much like over the clothes touching. Yeah, and the dog is in the corner.
You pretty much have sex on under the covers with your clothes still on. You know what I mean? It's just
that's a real Eskimo kiss. Like, I know they say it's like rubbing noses, but no, that's what a real Eskimo kiss is.
It'll never be the same again. But yeah, I like the episode. I did, and I thought that the final goodbyes between Michonne and Carl and Carl and Rick were very sad. My main complaint about the whole Carl situation is pretty much the same as you guys. That's stupid. I mean, I get he was honoring his mother or whatnot, but Carl should have had enough sense to be like, dude, you're going to get yourself killed. But I don't know. Like, we could have stood back and shot him. I mean, I felt
robbed,
thing was
just the way it went down.
A stupid way to have killed. I'm not mad that he died so much as, like I said, the way he died. I still feel like they didn't need to kill Carl. Some other character could have been used to shift the momentum of Rick's outlook. But Carl could have got hurt. Well, again, because Carl gets hurt. Carl loses something every season. He gets shot in the chest, shot in the eye.
Pretty soon he would have lost like an arm or something.
Yeah, it was on the way.
But no, I'm like that too. Except I could have cared. It's fine if Carl would have died. I wouldn't be as mad about it if they would have done it right.
Right.
But it really does. Like, it pisses me off that they pulled this crap. I'm trying to censor myself because I'm really going to go off. When they did the same thing, like I said earlier, with Abraham and Glenn, how you made us wait like a whole break. And then you come back and you lose a lot of the momentum. If it was maybe a 2-week break, I could get it.
Right.
But when you're going multiple months and you give people time to talk about it, and we have social media everywhere, so like when someone's on a Walking Dead forum or something on the internet, they're going to get tired of hearing about, hey, is Carl dead? Is Carl alive? So then you got these two factions about Carl being alive, Carl being dead, arguing back and forth each other, and then you got us who are like, we're pretty sure he's dead, but they could do, and then so nobody wants to be able to just. Instead, everybody could have came together and said, "Man, that was really sad the way." Carl
I get
died.
you. I agree 100%. Like that whole 2-3 months that you have of just constant. Carl may be living. Carl's gonna die. Carl. By the time the reveal comes, you're just kind of like
burnout on Carl.
Right. If they would have just killed him and had him die on the mid-season finale, then on the premiere, we would have all been tuned in, wanting to see how Michonne was going to take it, how Rick was going to take it. Like, we don't have to have cliffhangers to keep making us come back.
Yep.
So, no, I agree. I think that, and the same thing with the Negan thing, I hated that they did it, but that was brilliant because at least then there was so much speculation. We all basically knew Carl was freaking dead. But I do agree that the cliffhanger thing it's like
but screw them for putting that 1% of doubt in there, like even 1%.
Yeah.
I know we're like 99%. Yes, Carl's dead. Yes. But they do that on purpose, so like people, we're going to put this in there so you don't really see Carl. Like, how hard would it be for like him to be like me shown like leave me your sword and him like slash his throat or something? I don't know, or like chop his own head off. I don't know if that's possible.
Jesus, Carl, that's sick. Just take my gun.
You know, I mean, it'd be difficult to watch like Carl shoot himself in the head. I mean, that's a little rough. I know I say that watching a guy drawing his guts out is like whatever, but
I think him slitting his own throat would be very difficult to watch too.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen that so many times on this show. Somebody's throat gets slit though, but I've never seen someone. Well, actually, I feel like we've seen a lot on this show.
We have. We've seen throats get bit out. We've seen throats get slit. We've seen pointy things come through the back of throats. Like we've
Arrows
seen a
go
lot
through
of throat action.
Yeah, man. Herschel.
Oh man, poor Herschel.
Sorry to bring it up, but that was the OG.
You know what this does to me.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
You know what this does to me.
I'm sorry. Moving on.
Herschel.
So Herschel. God, no.
I think that's the maddest I've ever been at this show. But I mean, it was very good. Like I still was, I
miss those days.
Yeah, the season 4 mid-season finale was still one of my favorite episodes, and I hated it when it came on. I'm like, this is stupid. Why'd you? And then I realized, wow, that was such good writing and so well done that it made me that freaking angry, and it's just a show. Like, I have an appreciation for it.
When you texted me last night of what time to be here this morning, I after the show was over, I honestly wanted to text you back and be like, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to sit in my bed and I'm just going to stew for a little while. But I was like, no, I'll regret doing that. So I drove here angrily. I flipped off an old lady.
You do that
on
anyways.
my way. Well, that's true. That's very true. But in my defense, she was flipping me off first.
Old ladies just love to flip you off. It's like their defense
curly,
mechanism.
old, wrinkly fingers.
Too many jilted lovers out there, man. You really need to,
What do you want me to do? Some people rob the cradle. I like to rob the grave.
Oh, a little necrophilia.
Oh, I'm not that old.
Oh, okay.
Like not past expiration.
You said old and robbing the grave. I thought you were trying to slip us a little like.
Well, I did have
secret there. Like
I did have a woman ask me because the part of area over there of the town is called Neapolis, like back in the day. And a woman asked me, she said, "What is necropolis?" And I was like, "Miss, that is not what the name of this area of the town is." And I feel like necropolis is a completely different city. It's the city of the dead. And she looked at me like I was crazy, which I knew I wasn't.
That movie Contracted, which is actually, it's slow, but it's a decent zombie flick on Netflix. It starts with someone having sex with a dead body. Little necrophilia for you. Okay. If Matt's necrophilia got you all hot and bothered, there you go.
And there's also some kind of oh, good. I'm glad we went in that direction. No, there's a play. There's some kind of play where it's like two corner. What are they called? People in
corners. I think you're right. Yeah.
Two corners, and they both have necrophilia. So like, there's this like sex scene where they're like, the one's like, stop moving so much, and the other one's like, no, you stop moving so much. So they're trying to pretend that the other one's dead. It's really creepy but very funny. So
oh wow, that's very interesting.
Don't Google that. Like, I wouldn't recommend Googling that. I would just leave it to the imagination.
Nice. JP, where do you think
I'm just glad we're not talking about the episode. I'm so mad, and I feel better now.
JP, where do you see this season going, what's left of it? Like, how do you think this is going to play out? Because I do love, and I get, again, some people take things so literally when you say them. But I do love that Carl's whole message to Rick was we all need to live together and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like next week on The Walking Dead, and he's like, who's next, Rick? And it's like,
Rick, I'm going to kill them all. He said something like, Dad, we all need to live together. I'm going to kill them all.
I'm going to kill you.
God.
I think it's setting up for something cool. I mean, everybody's going to the hilltop. It's going to be kind of a 300 sort of thing, like, their last stand against...
I did watch the clip for the next couple of episodes or whatever for the season, and there's a part of it where they showed a coffin going to Simon and Negan, and them open, and then like there's arms reaching out. Now I'm fairly certain it's going to be Gavin.
If you watch I
was hoping it's going to be Carl.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Right? That's what I was going to say. I would hope that'd be Carl. I know it's not going to be, but I would hope that'd be Carl. So
that'd be twisted.
That would be really cool.
No, they showed that scene on the scene from next week's Walking Dead, that whole scene of them opening the coffin and And you find out that, and I would just for the spoiler's sake, I won't tell you who the person was. But if you think on it, you'll figure it out. It's actually pretty simple.
Yeah.
But Simon is ready to go to war because apparently all of the prisoners at the hilltop are from the outpost, like the satellite outpost. Oh. So Simon's in rage mode, but we're going to see how Negan takes this because I've seen previews where Negan apparently and Simon are at odds. So it's going to be interesting to watch the Empire crumble from within.
That's exciting.
I see Simon in Westworld.
Ooh,
when I watch it, and I'm just like, he's just a jerk everywhere.
Corner.
He's really good at being a jerk. I love Simon Ogg.
Yeah, Stephen Ogg.
Stephen Ogg. Damn it.
Close enough.
Simon Pegg, Stephen Ogg. I get them twisted
There's
up all the time.
There's 2 G's in there at the end.
It's too much.
Is he British?
No, I don't know. No, he's not. I mean,
Simon Pegg is, but not Stephen Ogg.
Yeah, Simon Pegg's definitely British, but Stephen Ogg, no. So I don't know. What are your predictions for the rest of the season as we wrap this up?
I think it's going to end strong, man. I think we're going to have a real Magnificent Seven kind of feel. Just overwhelming odds, and everyone's finally come together, and the fingers clench to make a fist, and where that fist goes is anyone's guess.
See, that just sounds really familiar.
Huh? I've
just
never said
everybody.
that before.
No, not you saying that. Just that kind of scenario happening.
Well, they say there's only 7 stories, and you study that stuff, right?
Oh, you talking like man versus himself, and man versus nature. Which there's more now. There's man versus a robot. There used to be 3 types of storytelling, but
how dare you assume a story's gender?
I would never.
But no, I think you're going to be happy, Matt. I think you're going to be much happier than you could have ever imagined.
I say it. I enjoy your optimism, and I appreciate it, but I've been burned a lot, guys, and I don't know how you're doing it. I read your Facebook thing where you were just it was a heartbreaking and said how it was kind of a positive. You enjoyed the episode, and I was like, I really wanted to go on there and be like, are you kidding me? But I was like, I'll save it. I'll save it for the studio. You're entitled to your opinions, even though I disagree with the show.
If
I'm just mad.
If Carl had been bit saving Enid from some giant horde around the sanctuary, so I would have been happy with last night's episode. It's how he got bit and what set this up that had me so pissed off.
It was for a complete stranger, man. I mean, I get that, and I get that. It's what I hate about it so much is I get what they're trying to do, and that's what makes it so much more difficult. Is I think it's stupid, but I understand what they're going for. Like Carl saying, we should be willing to risk our lives or even die to save other people, regardless of who they are, and yada yada yada. But I'm with you. I'm like.
Yeah,
but Sadiq has medicine.
Yeah,
it's an anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, it's some ibuprofen.
It might help.
He's like, I'm gonna honor you.
Holy
it's
shit, guys! That's the cure. Ibuprofen was the cure the whole time.
Anti-inflammatory.
You got to take 3 of them though,
and use rubbing alcohol.
Yep, and you got to drink the rubbing alcohol.
Neosporin. Mm-hmm. Ooh, that'd be a gross shot. A little rubbing alcohol with Neosporin
using
floating
your
on
pestle
top.
And pestle and mortar to crunch it all up, make a paste, and then you just rub it inside your gums.
Throw some Vicks in there for a little extra throat hit.
Should you should you put it in your mouth or on the wound?
Up your butt. It should definitely be a suppository.
Either way, you're shoving in some hole.
Right. In the hole, this concoction must go.
Oh man, that just ugh.
And then I will say this though. I mean, what's bad is I started the podcast off positive. I like the episode. I'm by no means saying it was perfect or great, but I enjoyed it. However, which I am with you, I did love the Morgan thing. When they went, usually for the last little while when they would flip to Morgan, I'd kind of be like, because it was just Morgan's. But this time when I was excited to get back to Morgan
because there was action every time. There was either some stealth or some action or something going on with Carol and Morgan. But literally, let's zoom back to Carl real quick. Are we in a flashback? Are we in a flash forward? Are we in his imagination? Oh, good. Someone's talking to him and crying. Oh, good.
Yeah. And the dialogue was pretty good. I love the interactions between Gavin.
Right,
yeah, that annoyed me. I called that while watching. I was like, oh, come on, man. That's they put an infant cry with a kid that has shoulder-length hair.
Why would they even bring Judith in there?
Well, she's not
gonna remember him.
Oh, yeah, you talking about to say goodbye.
Yeah, what was
I think that was
about?
more for him than it was her. He's leaving
stop
and
being
he wants
so greedy,
to see her.
Carl. That's the reason you died in the first place.
Gosh.
Sorry.
But yeah, no, but I did find it really sad. I thought it was really sweet, how he was making memories. I mean, the last day they took pictures. I mean, he was giving her something to remember her brother by. At least there was a picture, and not just a picture, but they looked happy and. So I liked all of that. Again, I'm with you. It's the way they killed him is what makes me mad. The execution of last night's episode was fine. It's just knowing what we know makes it that much harder to accept. You're like, man, This is a kid that has killed like multiple grown adults with no problem, and he gets killed by 2 withering zombies.
For no reason at all.
The last 15 to 20 minutes of the first half of the season should have been Carl's death. He should have died at the end of that. This episode last night should have been about everybody processing it.
Right.
And then we could have done some of that, like the flash forward, and he's reading that note that says dad on or whatever.
Yeah.
That note could tell us what the Carl's imagination with old Rick and Negan in the garden and all that stuff and Joey and all that. That's what the note could have told us about in this episode. We could have accomplished everything, but made it more about the characters dealing with it,
right?
Instead of having to for Carl dying for an hour and a half.
Yeah, he did. God, Carl, quit dying so slow.
Jeez.
But
Sorry.
yeah, no, and then I thought the whole Daryl. I don't know. Like Daryl's just a character that disappoints me nonstop.
Ooh.
All these people are here.
He got a lot of lines, didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he said like, what did he say? Together, we'll be their worst nightmare. And then he was like, all these people alive, you did that. Then he said, I'll get her there safe. And then he didn't say it, but when he grabbed Rick, I felt like that was him going, sorry, I punched you in the face and was a complete douche.
But he couldn't.
It's the mid-season premiere. It's time for my character arc to shift, so I'm going to be nice now. Because Daryl's like you said with Morgan, that's the way I feel with Daryl. Is it's like, oh, he's antisocial and wants to kill everybody. Oh, Daryl loves everyone. Oh, Daryl's antisocial and don't want to. Like, Daryl's the character for me that I'm like, we're just going around in circles, man. Like, you've, I don't know. Like, he started off on the outside and he slowly worked. It was believable. I mean, I watched going back through seasons 2 and 3 and 4, and I love Daryl. Like, Daryl's a great character because he just gets warmer and warmer each season to this group. And then it's like, oh, no, situations put him back to where he doesn't really care about, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, he cares about people, but he's antisocial, and I don't know.
Well,
I just Daryl with me.
A lot of characters flip-flop.
At the beginning of season, I think it was 6, maybe, Daryl's like, we need to save people, and Rick's like, we don't need to save people. And then in the second half of the season, Rick's like, we should save people, and Daryl's like, we shouldn't save people. It's like, my God.
And that's literally like every group of people have that interaction on some sort of basis, whether it's the whole, we got to save these people, we shouldn't. Oh, we shouldn't kill people. Yeah, we should. Don't follow me. Yes, I'm going to follow. Like, it's all the same. Like, it's just two people arguing instead of just being like, hey, don't follow me. Okay, I'm going to chill back here then. There we go.
Yep. As we close, though, I will say I'll give major props to the Talking Dead, though. They did a really good job of, like, even if you didn't like Carl's death or the episode, they did a good job of just, for those Carl grievers, really, it was like a good funeral. I know this is kind of like a good funeral. But, you got some of those funerals you go to where someone dies, and though it sucks, you kind of get some closure because it was a really good service.
Oh, yeah.
And you laugh.
See people you haven't seen in a while, and
they
there's
tell
a lot
stories.
of food. Yeah, I mean, that's what I want for my funeral.
Yeah.
I want everybody to...
And it was kind of like that. It was kind of like a good service. If you were a Carl fan, I feel like The Talking Dead did a great job of giving you some kind of closure on Carl dying and all of that. But so kudos, that was really cool. But
and it has been nice reading all the Twitter and Instagram messages that different actors have been leaving. Chandler Riggs, it's really nice. Like Jeffrey Dean Morgan left like a really nice one.
Did he?
Yeah,
I have to check that out.
Nice.
Yeah,
I mean, it's because he talks about how he's like, you're a really cool kid. He's like, you're actually like, you've become a man. It's really cool to watch the path. I'm glad to. I mean, it's just really nice.
Yeah.
And Andrew Lincoln. I always want to call him Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln.
Just
like Simon Ogg.
And something I wanted to
Stephen Ogg.
Something I saw on the internet this morning I thought was really cool. If you go back and look at the title card for each season, the letters have been slowly decomposing. So look at season
cool.
1 letters for the Walking Dead title card, and look at season 8. I'll show you the post.
That's really cool. I didn't know
but
that.
it's real. Like, they show the time grade. It's really cool. And someone was like, I wonder what's going to look like for season 9.
It'd be like the Waking
Yeah. What is that? What are they saying?
D.
Oh boy, that's
Waking D.
Is this Showtime or what is this? The Winking D. All right.
You want to see something funny? Andrew Lincoln took that. You've heard that song Havana, I'm sure, right?
Sure.
Dun. He took the piano and rewrote it for Chandler. Instead of Havana, it's Chandler. And he plays the piano and sings like it's really funny, man. Like it's really cool to see Andrew Lincoln because he's so intense on the show, and he's one of those characters. It's really cool to see him out of the show, like goofing around.
Yeah, like Love Actually, Andrew Lincoln. It's really weird. Like,
that is really, really weird.
Young and not zombified or zombies whatever you call.
Just crazy how long this show's been going, because I was looking at a picture from like season 3, one of the promos where he's, it's a pretty popular picture. It's the one where he's like standing up against the fence and there's zombies on the other side and he's just doing that like glare at the camera like he does with his head down.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, again, that's what it's seeing him age from like that show, from that season and now, because it's just been going that long. It is crazy, how we've watched these characters grow up and age. And so let's wrap it up with a rating. This is going to be really interesting. We're going to start, of course, with Matt. Matt, what are you going to rate this episode?
I've got 2 ratings.
When you held up the 2, I was going to say, you seriously?
No.
No. Oh, yeah, that's right. A 2. No, but I've got 2 ratings, and we're just going to average it out, I guess.
Okay.
So the rating for the Carol and Morgan storyline, I give that an 8.
Oh, wow.
I give that an 8 because I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the fact where it's, they use some of the same tropes they do all the time. But I'm glad Ezekiel is safe. I'm glad Gavin is dead. It was great action. I always enjoy watching Morgan
that
stab
stick.
people with a stick. Man, how sharp is that thing?
That stick
didn't look that sharp when he was dragging it.
Yeah,
Like
that's
going
got to
to
be a
kill Gavin.
strong. What did he make that from? Was that dogwood or
Yeah, definitely not balsa.
It's a strong wood there.
Samburbia Pictures, if you're out there, what's a good? He knows a thing or two about weapons and stuff like that. I think.
Say he knows a good thing or two about wood.
He knows a good thing or two about wood.
Wait a minute.
What kind of wood is that?
no.
Probably a nice oak or something. What grows in the Georgia area?
By the way, if you're listening, Sanburbia, I cannot find your original fan-made video, like where you got the knife
Made
and
the grilled
everything,
cheese
and I was
sandwich.
really like that, dude. If you could you send me that or
Disclaimer.
something? Yeah,
Just
if
send us
it's
something.
not on YouTube anymore.
And then
awesome.
the now that I really do want to give it a 2. No, but I'm going to say a 4. Like, I'm going to say a 4.
Wow.
I'm
Wow.
so disappointed and so
That's-
mad. I don't want to be like so low that it brings down the Carol and Morgan storyline, but I am just not happy with the way they've dealt Carl's death. So if we got to take 4 and 8, and that's 12, and you got to divide that by 2, and then you find the average. So that's 6.
6. So
a
you're giving an
6 for
episode
the
of 6. Yeah, well, originally Matt, when he was giving his thing, he held up 2 fingers, saying 2 ratings, and I thought he was just giving me a quick no speaking 2. I'm giving it a 2.
That would have been awful.
Wow, Matt. All right, well,
Just
JP,
get up and walk out.
Let's see.
No, I give it a solid 7. Like I said, I was so pissed off with the circumstances.
Right? You see what I'm saying?
It's
Carl's
Monday,
death.
man.
Yeah, I wasn't crazy about that, but I love the Morgan thing, man. It's got me so stoked for Fear the Walking Dead, which is something I never thought I would say. But yeah, I'll give it a
I'm
solid
not going
7.
back. You guys talk about it, but I'm not going back. I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can go back to Fear the Walking
I think
Dead.
it's gonna be good.
As many times you've told me that how your dad says it's gotten really great, and how we've been hearing about it, I don't know, man.
They say
I'm
season
nervous.
3. That's what my dad was telling me, that I think it was season 3 again. I'd have to ask him, but I think he said from that point up it started getting really good. Basically, we quit watching right around the mid-season finale, which was when that whole
The fire in the
yeah.
house and everything like that.
And then that's when I'm told that it started getting much better after that. So of course that fate would have it, we'd watch it during one of the most.
Well, I
boring
really
stretches.
liked it up until then. I just kind of got busy and just kind of fell off.
I'll Wikipedia the episodes. That's the best. thing
I
can
loved Victor Strand, man.
Yeah, Victor Strand's awesome.
I liked
I like
the show.
Victor
I'm not
Strand.
going to act like I didn't like it. It's just one of those things you kind of sometimes
I like
fall
Daniel
off.
too.
Yeah.
do. Damn, Daniel. All right, what about you? What do you think?
I'm gonna give it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8 because
What kind of world am I living in?
number one, the redeeming for me too was some of the acting, because I love Andrew Lincoln and Denai Guerrero just in there. And then when Carl's like, "You're my best friend," I'm like, "Stop it, stop, Carl."
Stop.
And then of course when Rick's like, "No, a father's job is to protect his son," and I failed. I was like, "Damn, that hits me," and that sucks, man. That sucks to gotta feel. So there were some points and some dialogue in there that I thought redeemed it for me, because it was my poor girlfriend pretty much. Gesundheit.
Bless you.
Started crying from the little slideshow before the episode, and then just constantly it would go to the Morgan and Carol thing, and she'd kind of stop crying for a minute, and then as soon as we go back to Carl, she's right back to sobbing her eyes out. But no, I didn't hate it. I do agree. I think the way that they killed him sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want to see Carl die, but I'm not against Carl dying if, like you said, if I felt like it was done right. But so yeah, I can agree on that. But yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8. It had a lot of things in it that I like. Like most Walking Dead episodes, I feel like a lot of this could have been condensed. I feel like they drag things out.
Yeah.
That's again why I'm really hoping they'll start taking in this whole flashing to multiple stories in one episode to really make the slow things not feel so slow, because when you used to have to spend a whole episode, like Tara's Seaside, that could have been told in little sections.
I thought that was a great episode.
That could have been told in another in an episode with something else.
Right, yeah.
It didn't need its own episode.
You could have had like your Carol and Morgan thing happening, and then having that happen.
And I wonder sometimes, like I thought about that. Maybe the producers and the writers were like, you know what? Let's give this girl a chance to. You know, we
Shine.
like her. She's really nice. We want to get her more interest in her character. Sometimes it backfires, though.
Yeah, it just was a boring episode. It's like Tara's one of those characters that. I mean, I like Tara. I'm not that invested into her. I don't know how to explain it. She's been around for a while, since season 4, so just forget it's been that long.
I know, it's so weird.
You go through and watch the transformation of these characters. It'll blow your mind how much they've changed. You know, you don't really, I guess, realize it. Kind of like when you're hanging around someone and you don't really notice the changes because you see them every day. But it's wild. So yeah, I mean, you're giving it a 6. You're giving it a 7.
7.
I'm going to give it an 8. Wow, I didn't even realize we did that. 6, 7, 8.
That tends to happen with us.
Well, I think usually because you give it a bad rating, then JP just wants to be neutral and okay. So JP just kind of throws it a little higher, but not too high.
Yeah,
and then I'm just I'm just balancing it out. But no, I do. I'm hopeful. This show is definitely not Westworld, Game of Thrones level.
Just either
storytelling.
Fix it. Well, that's HBO, man. What is
yeah.
If this show were on HBO,
it almost was.
Yeah, dude.
It was. I don't know if it almost was, but it was pitched to HBO and they
10
turned it
episode
down.
Seasons, like it'd be awesome.
No commercials.
They could do hour-and-a-half episodes with no commercials instead of too many commercials. I'm not gonna lie. At one point, I thought about switching the episode off and just going to watch the Taco Bell nacho fries conspiracy movie.
That movie looks intense.
I don't know how long. It's probably like 10 minutes or something. I'm gonna go watch that today at some point.
Yeah,
I like
check it
Josh
out.
Duhamel. He's pretty good.
He is. I like him. Him and Fergie have divorced, right? And they just
have they? Was her national anthem that bad?
I thought they. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought they had split up.
We'll find out. We'll tell you. I'll tell you next week. I will do some
next week
research
on
that.
the Podcasting Dead.
All right, yeah, there we go.
All right,
oh,
but
that's
yeah.
exciting. Yeah.
Did Fergie
and Josh Duhamel get divorced?
Yeah.
We'll talk probably more about The Walking Dead like next week's episode.
Oh, and sometime this week we're going to do a follow up for JP's paranormal experience, and we have a sound clip to play you. A friend of ours who is a pretty straightforward guy. I don't never know him to be a liar. Used to do some ghost hunting, and they have
too straightforward.
They have a very disturbing EVP that we want to share with you guys. So if you made it all the way to the end of this video, be ready.
Stay tuned.
But yeah, so we'll see you at some point this week, and definitely next Monday. I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Matt.
And JP.